Okay, we're continuing with quotes in alphabetical order. This is Joseph Stalin, the leader of the Soviet Union. He lived from 1879 to 1953. And here's what he had to say about Soviet Russia. The state is an instrument in the hands of the ruling class, used to break the resistance of opponents of that class. Oh, what a nice ruler. This guy was just a brutal dictator thug, okay? But he had the power. He says, 1 death is a tragedy. 1,000,000 deaths, a statistic. It is not the people who vote that count. It is the people who count the votes that count. Ideas are more powerful than guns. We would not let our enemies have guns. Why should we let them have ideas? The press must grow day in and day out. It is the party's most powerful weapon. You see why I say that's why the Democratic Party is the American Communist Party? They own the popular midstream media press. They own the university system. They own the educational system. And that's why America's into the garbage can, becoming third world. You want to know the American ruling theme? MATWA, make America third world again. The Communist Party cannot be neutral towards religion. The Communist Party stands for science, and all religion is opposed to science. That's the other thing. Christians are so stupid. They don't understand what's going on. What is going on is that all Christians have been declared an enemy of the Communist Party, and they must be destroyed. That's reality. Stalin says it right here. There's nothing ambiguous about it. Okay? And the Communist Party didn't collapse in Russia. It just went into hiding, okay, with Gorbachev and all that stuff. Gorbachev came to the United States to campaign to help build up the Communist Party in the United States. It didn't disappear, okay? Putin's KGB. It still exists. It still runs things. Okay, Stalin says of the Pope, he says, the Pope, how many divisions has he got? Stalin continues, by May 1937, there should not be one single church left within the borders of Soviet Russia. And the idea of God will have to be banished from the Soviet Union as a remnant of the Middle Ages when it was used for the purpose of oppressing the working classes. So here's this guy starving all these people to death, bumping off all these people, show trials. He killed 65 million Christians, burnt down 148,000 churches. And he says, oh, that evil Christian church that was oppressing the working classes. Yeah, well, he's killing them by the millions, but got to get rid of that church. Okay, this is how it works. God, Christians are so weak and stupid, and they don't help each other. They're all jealous of each other. You'd be amazed. I know it because I know tons of them, and they're jealous or completely oblivious or apathetic. They don't help each other, and that's why they're so weak. Even though there's a lot of them. It's the most common religion in the world. There's 2.3 billion people. But they're so apathetic, and when they're not apathetic, they're jealous of each other. They're freaking stupid. Other ethnic groups, if one of their co-ethnics writes a book, they write all these reviews for them. I see it because I look at all the reviews on the internet, okay? Not all of them, but I look at a lot of them. I see the patterns. And it's most other ethnic groups. If somebody from their ethnic group does something, like writes a book, they get all the support. Makes a YouTube video, they get all the support. When a Christian does something, it's like no one cares, or if they care, they're jealous and they stab them in the back or something, okay? It's pathetic, but that's why they're so weak. Okay, Stalin, he says, in the future there will be fewer but better Russians. Yeah, because he's starving to death millions of them, sending them to Siberia, concentration camps, bumping them off, show trials, all this stuff. Okay. Karl Marx summarizes communism. He says communism can be summed up in a single sentence. Abolition of private property. That's what it's about. And that's what amazes me is all these stupid people, they think, oh, it's a good thing, socialism. What it means is you're not allowed to own anything. What it means is you're as poor as a homeless beggar. Do you really want that? I talked to lots of people in Eastern Europe. They said, to us, a Russian is a barbarian. Russia's full of these poor third world people. They're just basically slaves of that place. It's a shithole, okay? What is Russia good at? Russia's not good at anything unless it cheats. It stinks at art. It stinks at music. It stinks at literature. The only people who wrote a book worth a darn are the ones who criticize the place, like Alexander Solzhenitsyn, Gulag Archipelago, Boris Pasternak, Boris Zhivago, okay? They have like one good composer and he's scared to write anything. Dmitri Shostakovich, like was that Waltz Number 2 is good, but it's all about how scared he is. Nothing good come out of there. They had good wrestlers, but they had good wrestlers for a couple, oddball reasons. Number one, they paid them like professionals, whereas the guys they're competing against, like the Americans, were real amateurs. I know them personally. They were really poor. The other thing, too, is, they got them on anabolic steroids. But I do give them credit. They did have some creativity in their technique. Like the University of Iowa, run by Dan Gable, which won, one after another national championship. The truth of the matter, Dan Gable's boring, okay? Sure, I admire the guy, I like the guy, but he's boring, and he coached all his wrestlers to be just aggressive and great physical fitness, but they're boring. The only guys that were fun to watch from Iowa are the ones that were not like the other guys, like Randy Lewis. Okay, getting back to these quotes about Soviet Union. The next one is Jean-Francois Ravel. He says, socialism has failed everywhere, but you will not find a single Marxist who will say it has failed. He will say it has failed because it has not been done correctly. So failure never proves that the myth is wrong. Okay, here's Arthur Koestler. He says, I went to communism as one goes to a spring of fresh water, and I left communism as one climbs out of a poisoned river, strewn with the wreckage of destroyed cities and the corpses of the drowned. Yeah, that's the reality of anybody who studied it at all and has a brain in their head and tells the truth. Okay, here's a quote by John Dos Passos. Marxism has not only failed to promote human freedom, it has failed to produce food. The world is becoming a museum of socialist failures. Yeah, it destroys anything it touches. But all these dipshits, they still think socialism is okay. Look what it's done to Europe. Europe is collapsing, turning into a third world crap hole. Europe is bad. It's a disaster. Just watch the videos on it. All you'll see is one disaster after another. Destruction of everything. What good is that? That's what socialism leads to. Anyways, that's our quotes for today. And as Alexander Solzhenitsyn had said, the foundation of communism is atheism. And I can also tell you, after studying a lot of history and philosophy, wherever there is atheism, there will be mass murder and there will be destruction of all the weaker groups of people. And in the end, there will be starvation and massive collapse of the population, collapse of the standard of living. That's what it does. It's designed to do that. It just pretends to be designed to do good things to trick all the chumps. It's designed to destroy everything and everyone. That's how it works. And then just to have ruling by a small elite. That's what it was designed to do, and that's what it's very good at doing. So anybody who goes along with it, it's because you're a freaking moron, because it's only going to destroy you in the end.